Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 544. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212. And I'm with Chris L. What's up, Chris?
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, Scott?
I have a green M&M.
There you go.
Have a smile.
We have new box office numbers. What a surprise. On Star Wars The Force Awakens. As of yesterday, and again, we're getting closer. Domestically, it is 883 million. 305,698. Worldwide, 1,949,669,698. Yesterday, I guess, went up couple million, I guess.
Yes.
And just going looking at the numbers, right? Sometimes the numbers go higher than the previous week, which when I see stuff like that, I'm like, okay, don't pull it from the theaters prematurely because there's no reason for it. Okay? If a movie is going to be out 2 months and on the weekend domestically is generating like 15 million or 20 million, which sometimes a new movie comes out, number one, and makes that, then I say leave it alone. Because really, it's going to come out on DVD, Blu-ray, I guess, in April, right? So just let it, like, I don't understand these movie companies that are just pulling it from the theaters if it's doing well. Like, I shake my head because the movie theater by me, they started playing games like, let's just show 3D. Now, like, people want to see it. Like, and then they would just, what? They just now, like, I don't understand what the deal is that they just gotta like. Yeah.
I think the fact that it's doing well, I mean, just like they're pulling it because, okay, it's made its big bucks. It's made, it doesn't matter if it's Star Wars, Indiana, or what, Indiana Jones, or whatever. It's made its big bucks.
Right.
Let's pull it so that way we can get another movie in there. And if that movie doesn't do as well, we can then turn around and return it back.
See, but they don't. Most of these times they have like a policy. They don't do that. Wait, Chris keeps getting kicked out. Why is he getting kicked out? Well, anyway, my movie. Yeah. Hey, Chris, you all right? Schmoogle, I think. Oh.
Nope.
Yeah. Again, the box office numbers. All right, it made 1,324,479 in one day. So if you add it up, like on a Friday, it will make almost 4 million, and then on a Saturday, almost 7 million, and then on a Sunday, almost 4 million. So leave it alone. Like, don't like pull it from the theater. I don't care what's coming out. I don't understand.
I think of is maybe they've got it just for so long. I mean, it sounds stupid, I know, but maybe they've got it for so long, and then.
Chris, why is that?
What's up?
Why these movie theaters like pulling Star Wars when it's doing so well? Like, even like 2 months out, it's doing good. Like, why are they?
I don't know. I didn't even know that was happening.
Yeah, I mean, over here in Staten Island alone, this is happening. I'm like, what the hell? And then certain other places, not everywhere, but it's like, again, if I look at the numbers from last weekend, okay?
Yeah.
3,535,257 just for freaking Friday, and everybody's working on Friday, mind you, okay?
Yeah.
Saturday, 6,814,652. That's just Saturday. Sunday, 3,729,739. That's Sunday. So, I mean, it baffles me.
I think Scott might be right. I think that they might have it for a certain time, and then they have to pull it for other movies.
Even if it's doing well.
Even
Yeah,
if it's
because
doing well.
That is a disgrace.
yeah, but you know what might happen though? Like, because this has happened before. I mean, this happened with Avengers. Not this particular situation, but they re-released it. They put
Right.
like Avengers back in the theater. That might happen with this movie. People
I-
might want it so
Yeah.
bad that they might release it when nothing's coming out.
First of all,
No.
it's not even dying out where you could say, what just happened? Hello?
Hey,
Okay. It's not even dying out where you could say, all right, it's gone. You know?
yeah,
This weekend, again, it's another 15 million probably. Easy. So just, even when Deadpool comes out, I don't see it, like, dying out yet.
you want to know something interesting that I heard today?
What?
Apparently, Deadpool's only getting a limited release.
Why?
I don't know. I saw some news today that said it's only getting, from a credible source, said that it's only getting a limited release.
Because
So
it's
how-
R, maybe, or
I don't know.
Oh, that is the
Some
dumbest
theaters aren't
marketing
picking
move
it
I've
up,
ever.
I guess.
That is
probably what it
purely
is.
stupid.
They probably feel, okay, this is an R-rated movie, and this is from Marvel, but so they,
Well, it's 20th century.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
I mean, it's still Marvel.
Yeah, it's still Marvel. Yeah, right. But yeah,
and they feel that, oh, it should be a kid-friendly PG-13.
I can't see that happening.
I mean, I hope that's not true. I mean, I'm not a big Deadpool fan, but I know that there's a huge fan base for Deadpool, and I hope everybody wants to see it.
My $4 joint.
I hope everybody wants to see it.
If it gets
to see it, I
limited,
really do.
there's a less chance of it going there, and if it does, I'm gonna be,
Well, you know what that means? If that's true, more people are just going to pirate it.
yeah.
I mean, that's unfortunate, but, you know.
Right. There was a lot. We were talking a lot about Batman vs Superman the other day, and a lot of people are commenting tonight, as
Yeah.
well as yesterday. Is there anything in there? Anybody ask us any questions, or anything we can comment on, or?
Well, there was one comment in there that I just want to address, but the person corrected themselves. So, yeah. One of them said that Joe and I, they didn't think, and they didn't mean this in a negative way or anything.
Okay.
But they said that they didn't think that Joe and I saw The Dark Knight Returns. But a couple minutes later, I saw that they commented on the post, said, "Oh, okay, I guess I was wrong," because we did make that comment. And also when they said, you know, that the Frank Miller comment, they were talking about what we said in the video.
Okay.
They said that they agreed with that. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm glad we're not the only ones who see this.
Well, I'm glad they're doing
No.
Batman Killing Joke, because that was like one of the greatest freaking comments
Rated
I had.
R. Did you hear that?
I can't wait.
It's going to be rated R.
I remember reading the book, right? And I'm like, oh my god. Like, what he did to her. I took it that he raped her. And, you know, and then, the Commissioner Gordon's, like, watching it. And he's, like, naked with the midgets, right? I mean, I don't know. Did they ever confirm that she was or not in the comic?
I don't think they ever confirmed it, but I did. I
They
agree
did
with you.
alter it. They did alter it.
They implied it. I think they
Wasn't
heavily
they
implied it.
was that the one where Joker's like drawing a smile on her face?
Yes.
I'm sorry, from what my perspective was, is that he did. And I was just like dumbfounded how, I mean, again, that's horrible to happen to character, but that was a great, I mean, that's when I was actually collecting both Marvel and DC. Was it 87 or was it, I forget what year it was or was ever, and I just stopped collecting DC altogether, but they had these stupid storylines like Millennium and whatever, and I just wasn't getting into it. Batman, there was like all this stupid things happening, so I just stuck with Marvel. But Killing Joke was one of the few things that I remember that was just phenomenal that I collected back then, and I liked it. Like, I mean, I could see when I seen Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah.
Right now, while I like all of them, I like The Dark Knight Returns. What was called Dark Knight. Dark Knight. I keep getting confused with the name of the thing. Heath Ledger as Joker. I like that better than Dark Knight Rises. Like, that was like my favorite Batman movie. You know what I'm saying? And of course I like the original. Yeah, with Tim Burton of '89. But I even like Batman Forever. Not a lot of people like that. Batman Forever. I loved Jim Carrey's portrayal as the Riddler.
Fat nipples.
That was actually like my kids loved that movie. Of their favorite, like keep replay value, the Batman Forever. But anyway, and I remember when Batman Returns came out, I'm like so annoyed that because I didn't like the way they portrayed the Penguin, you know, and Catwoman. I wasn't crazy that they, you know, the costume could have been a lot better, you know. So,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, why are they doing that? And I was like, Christopher Walken is the, you know, it's like, so which is cool. I love Christopher Walken, but yeah, I love. Like when Batman when it goes dark, like I really like it. Like especially like with Bane, that was like getting really good.
Yeah.
I was kind of upset we didn't got another one.
I still remember. There was some chat board going on. It was before Bane, the one where with Bane in it.
Which,
and everybody says, yeah, this person could be in it, or this person could be in it. It says, you're all forgetting about the man who broke the bat, Bane.
Yeah.
And then it comes out and says, I nailed it. I nailed it.
They nailed it. I mean, I loved it. I loved that they did that. The only thing I wish we could have seen was I wanted to see more Nolan Batman.
And
I have a theory that they would have done more had Heath Ledger
hadn't
not
passed away.
Had what?
Had Heath Ledger not passed away.
Yeah, because if I
really what?
Bane was supposed to be the fourth one, and then
well, they had talked about Leo being the Riddler.
Yeah.
Leo DiCaprio.
I could have sworn that Bane was supposed to have been like the fourth or fifth movie, but because Ledger passed away, that's why they shortened it.
Yeah, I heard rumors that they were setting up the Riddler, and I heard a really amazing fan-made thing where they said that they like if they were going to make in the third one, had Heath Ledger not passed away, they would have had the Riddler be the only villain in the movie with the Joker, but the Joker would have been locked up for most of the movie.
Right.
And the Riddler would have been so, like, he would have been so threatening. He would have been such a threat to Gotham, and so like intellectually on par with Batman, that Batman would only be able to stop a few things that the Riddler did, and he would have to go to the Joker for help.
Wow.
Because the Joker knew how this guy there's some connection between them, like they knew each other or something, and Batman knew that the Joker knew how this guy thought, so they did kind of like a Hannibal Lecter thing, right? And then like the twist was at the end of the movie when Batman defeats the Riddler, it turns out that the Riddler was a contingency for the Joker if he got caught.
Oh,
and at the end of the movie, the Joker is freed, and like you realize it was Harley Quinn that frees him.
Okay.
And then the fourth one would have been, I think, Batman, Catwoman, Joker, and Harley Quinn.
Oh wow! Because he was definitely going to come back, Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
In the next one.
I remember reading that, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that would have been fantastic."
Yeah.
The little gal who plays Abby from NCIS, I thought always would have been great for Harley Quinn, because she has that look. I don't know why, but she always looked. I thought she would make a great Harley Quinn.
You know, she almost died recently.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Who?
The actress from NCIS.
The little girl.
Oh, really?
Whatever it was. Whatever
one of
those shows were.
Why? What happened?
She had a reaction, I think, to the makeup or something that she was using.
Shoot. Wow. Any other comments on that one?
Nothing that I really saw that needed to be addressed, really.
Listen, I'm going to go see it. I'm just not happy that, what I've seen of Batman vs. Superman, but we'll see.
I have a strong feeling Suicide Squad will be their one, which they're going to find out, we were hoping for our Batman, but it looks like Suicide Squad took that spot.
We had some other news break over the past couple of days that we just didn't cover. Little House on the Prairie reboot.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Which I'm like, what?
If they're going to do the Little House on the Prairie, let's do it right. Put it in Walking Dead.
We got a teaser for Penny Dreadful Season 3. May 1st release. Can't wait for that. Bates Motel. Can't wait for that. Game of Thrones. Can't wait for that. What other stuff am I missing?
Oh, they're
Walking Dead?
remaking the Magnificent Seven.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. Why not? And then Arnold.
Who's supposed to be in it?
Arnold was talking about the new Conan.
Oh yeah,
Conan, is it Conan the Conqueror or something?
Conan the Geriatric.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And of course,
Conan needs a walker.
They had talked about Star Wars today. Rogue One's Vader role.
Yep.
And they were saying that he's going to do something gruesome in there.
Ooh.
Well, I'm hearing Collider reported today that along with the suit that was made for the actor, they made stunt suits for Vader.
Okay.
Oh,
So
doing flips and that speed run.
So he's going to be running around like fast.
I hope so.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. How great is that? You would think that that suit would not hinder him. It would magnify him.
It does.
I always believed so. I didn't think that in any way that made him less.
Well, because like in the expanded universe before it was uncanon. I mean, I guess you still read it; it'll still be there, obviously. But
Right.
they said that the suit was like it was very uncomfortable. It was painful. It was itchy. It was like really like very distracting for him. And they said that like the Emperor did this stuff to keep Vader down. But now the suit isn't painful. It actually has like anesthetic to keep pain from going into like keep him from feeling pain. And it bolsters his strength. And they said all this in I'm not making this up. They said all this in Lords of the Sith. They flat out say this. Like it's not a hindrance, it's a benefit. And I was like, well, there we go.
Can't wait. Gonna love James Earl Jones.
Oh, the return of the voice.
Back. I love it. You think that this was big?
Oh.
Let me tell you something. The one thing I was looking forward to when I heard about prequels was I just thought we would have a whole movie or two with Darth Vader. Okay? That they would happen in the first one, and then he'd be Darth Vader in the other two. Didn't know anything about it before we knew. When we only got like less than 30 seconds,
And even that
I was like robbed, I felt. And I said, you make a Darth Vader movie, that budget is going to get, I mean, the amount of money it's going to make is going to crush anything.
I would love, I know they probably have a saying you can't, but those prequels, it would be great to see how somebody would come in and actually reboot them and make them better.
Let me tell you something. You put Darth Vader as the main villain in Rogue One,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that that's going to destroy The Force Awakens box office numbers. Everybody wants Darth Vader.
I can't agree with that one.
Really?
No, I can't. I just think The Force Awakens was just it was a phenomenon that we're not going to see even with 8, 9, or Rogue One.
Really?
Because it's like you have one movie every decade or so, which just boom.
Yep.
knocks
Yep.
it out of the park. It was 1 year it was Titanic, then we had Avatar. We've got
So this will be it for like 10 years, right? You're saying over 15 years, that's it. Like it's just okay. That's fair enough.
I think that what kind of helped Rogue One, what kind of gave it that nitrous boost was Star Wars is coming back. But not only is it coming back, it's coming back the right way.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that's what really now that it's back, people don't get me wrong. I think Rogue One is going to be the highest grossing movie of this year. I really do. I just think that, well, maybe against Batman vs. Superman, maybe not, but one or two definitely. But I just think that Rogue One is now going to be, with all the other movies, which isn't bad, it's going to be like, all right, it's back, and people want to see it, but it's not like it's coming back. Because the difference now is
prequel the way it should be made.
Right. People aren't thinking like the last movie I saw with Star Wars sucked.
Yeah.
Now they're thinking the last one I saw was fantastic. I want to see more.
Right.
And this just proves my little adage. Movie makers need to just make a good movie. That's their job. Just make the public a good movie and allow the public to make it the box office hit that it can be. But so often they come in and go, oh, we're going to make this the grand prize of the year, and you go see it, and it's like, okay, I wasted X amount of bucks to see this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do. I
Now,
think if
yeah.
you're making a movie, right, with the idea that I want this to be a box office hit,
How you felt?
that's where it goes
Yeah.
bad. If you just go in like Scott just said, that's the key. You go in and you say, I want to make a good movie, the rest will fall into place.
Yeah.
See, my problem is, and again, I'm a Marvel guy, you know that. I was so against them doing a Civil War movie. I mean, screaming from the top of my lungs. Because, again, I did not like the comic book version of it. And I felt it really is the one storyline that screwed up everybody. And it never fixed it, okay? And, of course, it messed up my character, Spider-Man. But anyway, I don't see the point of this either. Just like Batman vs. Superman, I just don't see them having a whole movie where they're fighting each other.
Do you think you should have waited like another couple more years and then have it, or?
First of all, I would have had the Red Skull come back with the aliens in Captain America 3. I wouldn't have done Civil War. Civil War, what you do after the Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I felt. And, you know, this whole thing about Tony Stark making him like a bad guy, which they were if you watch Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
It's like he could become a bad guy or something. I don't like that either because I'm a Tony Stark fan also. But I just don't. To me, I'm just like, I'm gonna go into it and I'm like, all right, so they're gonna fight, they're gonna make up, and then let's go to the next movie. It's like, what's really gonna happen in this? Someone's gonna die. You know, Agent Carter's gonna die, or what are they gonna say? Agent Carter's his mother, like Tony Stark's mother, or like what are they gonna do? Like, I mean, I don't. Is Captain America gonna die before Infinity War?
Yeah, because in the comic book, I remember he'd gotten shot, and then...
Which was stupid. This is not like, you know, JFK assassination or whatever, and especially, you know, he wouldn't get shot in a coming out of a car. It's like, it's dumb. He's a soldier. He knows. What's even worse is Red Skull bringing him back to life. Don't even get me started on that one. But whatever. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'll go see it. It's probably going to be cool, but again,
it's not on your top picks to go see.
I'm not. I'm not crazy about it. Yes, I'm a Spider-Man fan, but I'm not crazy about Spider-Man being 15 in Civil War. He should be established already. It should be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. He should be unmasking himself. He should be married to Mary Jane. You know, and he doesn't mask himself because maybe he says, no, I'm not going through with it because common sense, in the comic, that should have never happened. With everything he went through, he would never unmask himself and put his whole family at risk. Regardless, I don't care. And anybody who wrote it that way is so stupid because if they didn't really know that Spider-Man would not do that, regardless, just wouldn't do it. But, I don't know. Whatever. We get people that handle the characters that don't handle them appropriately. You're muted. I don't know why you're muted, but you're muted. Scott. What happened?
Oh, I had to tell somebody to turn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, yeah, certain things happen with characters in the comics and it shakes your head. Like, Cyclops killed Professor X? He's the Phoenix? What? It's like...
Oh, yeah, that whole
you know what?
A versus X thing.
Good luck, buddy. It's like, I don't know what's happening. It's unrecognizable.
I read that again. I mean, I found the trade at Barnes & Noble. I read that again. I'm still scratching my head.
I was just trying to, like, I was like, should I go back into the Hulk? But then I'm like, oh, wait, Bruce Banner's not even the Hulk anymore. And the Hulk's not even the Hulk anymore. It's...
Yeah.
By the way,
you know what's interesting?
I was right. The sales of Captain America are like, pfft,
Yeah, for bombing.
in the toilets with the Falcon is Captain America. Toilets. Okay.
Unless they're trying to wait till the whole Civil War movie comes out, and then they're going to have Falcon back the way he is. That's the only thing I can
Steve
think.
Rogers. No. That's another thing. Marvel's got this new kick. Hey, let's have like 5 different characters called the same thing.
Yeah.
Like we could have 18 different Spider-Men running around. Miles Morales, or this one. It's okay. It's the new thing. It's the new hip thing, man. It's like, different colors of crayons. We got different Spider-Man running around. It's all right. No, it's not all right.
No,
it's not all right. First of all, who the hell wants to buy a book called Thor's where everybody has a hammer? Who the F cares? Like, they're all the same. It's boring.
It's just like, it's probably not good. This guy's from 616. This guy's from 212. This one's from 18.
And they never defeat each other because they all have the same powers. Same thing, Hulks. I mean, I was looking at this excuse for Secret Wars 3 or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And the books that came out, I just didn't pick up half of them because I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you bringing the Maestro back for this?
Because all their others
has nothing to do with Doctor Doom.
Their little inside bickering, 2-1, has hurt their bottom line. So they figure, so we'll throw the fans or the comic book readers something.
Let me tell you something. The biggest mistake of Secret Wars is they did everything but the damn storyline that it was about. The main thing was Doctor Doom was the head of the whole universe. Okay? That's it. He was like the god, so focus on that. Don't focus on the one thing I did like, though, was what Dan Slott did, where show Peter Parker married, his responsibilities to his family. That I did like. But everything else, it's like, why are we redoing
It's
Days
a
of Future Past? Why are we redoing Armor Wars? Why? Why would you redo
They
Infinity
don't have
War?
the number of comic books since they sold off all their deals, so they've got to
tried
do something.
to do this, and it didn't. I don't think it worked. It didn't work. It was gimmick central. Secret
That's
Wars.
what they did in the '90s. Was let's put out all these make all these comic books and make it seem as though comic books are as good as stamps.
There is no reason for Civil War 2 in the comics right now.
No.
There is no reason for it. We have a new universe established that nobody even really knows what the hell is happening. So now you're talking about something that's going to groundbreak and cause them to fight each other. I don't even know half the time who's who. They don't even say. I mean, they said, all right, it's called Prime Earth. Not even 616. So does that mean that 616 is like Prime Earth? I mean, to me, I have a feeling.
616, a different universe altogether. Then.
See, I just have a feeling, regardless. I still got to get the last Secret Wars, but I just have a feeling that somehow it's going to be reverted back to 616 because it's just nonsense. Half the stuff's happening here.
Marvel, get
it together, man.
You're irritating the
Fantastic. Fix the Fantastic Four, please.
Yes.
Because you just ruined that.
Oh, the movie alone.
How is the Fantastic Four rebuilding realities with their powers? Like every single multiverse they're repairing with their powers. That's dumb. That's dumb.
I'm glad the only comics I read are the Godzilla Rulers of Earth comics.
Yeah.
Because those were great. That had one of the best payoffs I've ever seen for anything.
All the stuff that we like, and guess what? It's not out. Doctor Who's not around.
Yep.
Marvel Comics, I can't even read half of them because it's just like, what do you mean that Tony Stark is adopted? What do you mean? It's like, why is Mary Jane in there? I'm like, what happens? And I can't. Doc Strange has an axe. Why? It's like, oh, God, what are we doing?
Why does Doctor Strange need an axe?
I don't know. I bought the book, and I'm like, why am I buying the book?
Is it a magic axe?
I don't know, man. I just don't, God. The Hulk is Chinese.
12 Doctor's axe by any chance?
The Hulk is Chinese. He's totally awesome Hulk. It's like this kid that's the Hulk is like, I'm the Hulk, hey! It's like...
You know what that reminds me of? There was an 80s cartoon.
What's Shazam?
There was an 80s cartoon called The Thing, but he was supposed to be Ben Grimm Jr., and every time he touched his rings together, he says, "Thing rings, do their thing." and he turned into the Thing.
Or it was Prime or Shazam or whatever, Captain Marvel, whatever. It was like he was a kid and then he was
Yeah.
Yeah.
garbage. They're trying to copy off that stuff. Isn't Dark Side where they copy Thanos off of?
Well,
So,
I mean,
so it's like Thanos times. It's like two Thanoses here. We're gonna
I mean,
have.
I hesitate to say that because I don't know which one came first, but
They
I believe
did
Dark Side came
Yeah.
first,
yeah.
and they made it
so.
off of him, I believe.
To tell you the truth, I always really liked Darkseid. Like from what I've seen, I just like how cold and like calculating he is. To me, I just find villains like that more interesting than like the crazy psychotic, like, you know. I'm not saying Thanos is like that. I'm just saying.
I'm trying to remember what I was watching on YouTube. I forget. It was one of these comic book things, and they were saying that Thanos has this unconscious feeling of wanting to lose, and that's why.
Yeah, it's true.
I heard that.
He always has to give, like, from what I understand, it's like he always has to give his opponents a way to win.
Right.
And that's how they beat him in the Avengers TV show.
Right.
Like, because he had the Infinity Gauntlet with all the stones. He had all the Infinity Stones. And the Avengers were like, hey, we'll fight you, but you can only use one Infinity Gem at a time. And he was like, all right.
Right.
He still kicks their asses, but
Right, of
eventually.
course. Wow.
That was a cool storyline, too, because they beat him with Ultron, and then Ultron gets the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh.
And he's like, yeah, this is mine now, by the way. See ya.
That's funny. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
they were
say.
doing an entire history of copycatted characters, and there was Deadpool and Deathstroke.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the episode. I actually got the issue of the new Teen Titans where they introduce him, because his initial name was going to be Deathstroke the Terminator. Of course, with the Terminator movie coming out, they had.
Want to read that, Chris?
Sure. What's
Cough is
this?
still lingering. Cough is still lingering.
All right.
Yeah, read that.
Wait, what the hell? Hulk arc and Thor Ragnarok and Infinity War will feel like a solo movie?
I guess.
What?
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
they're saying that the Hulk's part in Ragnarok and Infinity War will make up for him not having a solo movie recently?
I guess. First of
Why
all,
don't
like,
they just make a solo movie?
they're not allowed
Yeah,
to.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I hear the legal issues with that, but they
Yeah.
gotta find a way around this stuff, man.
Listen, they got to find a way around what's going to stop Star Wars Episode 8 from coming out in December, because from what I hear today, it may even get delayed beyond that because of some type of stupid contract with the workers and the unions or something, and Star Wars 8 may be delayed beyond Christmas.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
So,
I have a funny feeling that situation will go away soon.
Yeah.
yeah, it's called
Rogue
Disney
One goes
saying
rolling
no.
around.
It's called Disney saying no, we'll give you extra money inside.
Yeah.
Or Disney going, we'll go with these people.
That's the one movie you don't delay, really, for like years.
Oh, no.
Star
no.
Wars movies. No.
No, people will lose their minds. Me being one
Oh,
of them.
I would go crazy. If episode 8 took like 4 years, I'd be, oh my god. No. That'd be like nuts.
That's why I was so happy that like it was coming out in May. I was like, hey, Rogue One, and
Yeah.
then like 6 months later.
Right, we were talking all
Wow.
about, we were like bragging, like, bro, 6 months later, yeah, that's right. I mean, well,
We'll get our
of
fix.
course, how stupid. We should have just figured it out. That would never happen in reality.
Yeah.
That's like saying, hey, Doctor Who's going to have 48 episodes this year.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Wait, what?
Sorry.
Yeah,
We meant
sorry.
a 48-second episode.
Right.
There you go.
Damn it! Like what?
Man, he's sleeping half the time. No. With the gators in his eyes. No.
Yeah. In fact, that's the whole episode. Is him going, why can't it come out of my eye?
We could do real Whovians, but I'll probably say it here. He still wants Jenna Louise Coleman back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
Like he's just not happy right now. He's got his beard going. He's just like, listen, get her back. And it's like,
Like I said,
you know what? Not for nothing. I agree with him because the way they did that, that's screwed up. And Moffat
They
even
can do a
tried to
big
explain
one.
the Danny Pink thing with Orson Pink. He's screwing that up too because he knows he's screwing up with that. So, you know what? Bring her back for a
They
whole
can
12
easily
episodes.
fix
Why
that
not?
by making the Clara with me actually a celestial a cloister wraith, and then
So you know what it is? I don't want. I want Capaldi to have his own companion, right?
yeah,
Because that would kind of break records where it's like the one doctor didn't have his own companion, not left over
Yeah.
from another doctor. So I don't even care if they have a new companion for 3 episodes. I would take Clara back in a heartbeat.
we all
I don't care what anybody says. I would do that because I'd say, you know what? They need to fix it and fix it right. But now we had talked about this possibility. I think we had another member make graphics for the Real Whovians, right? That Capaldi Tate Series 10. Lo and behold, they talked to her today, Catherine Tate, and she's like open to it. Like, and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh,
Donna
God.
Noble and Peter Capaldi. Like,
Oh God!
what the hell would that be, right?
That'd be
And-
fantastic.
Oh, God.
It would be like Burns and Allen.
She would take that guitar and she would break the crap
Oh
out of it.
yes.
She's like, you erased my memory. She would take all the amp. She would destroy it all.
I don't even want to think what you'd do with the guitar strings.
Because the moment she gets her memory back and she realized that her whole life has been manipulated because maybe she wouldn't have married the guy knowing that she could travel with the doctor, all these other stuff happened in her life, she'd get pissed. She'd get pissed. Just saying.
It'd be funny if she showed up and the doctor was like, I don't remember erasing your memory, but I'm sure it happened.
That's what I do.
Listen, I don't even remember because you know what? I don't even remember my last companion.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
And were you my last companion?
Are you Clara?
Yeah, right? And she smacked him in the face like you don't remember what she is.
Who's Clara? My cat.
But we even joked about that before it happened. I remember I was saying, "Oh, watch it! Like he'll lose his memory of her." I said that like friggin' way before it happened, and it came through and true. And I'm like, "Oh, fuck." I don't like to be right. I like to be surprised. You know. I don't know. You know what I was thinking so weird? I was just thinking like about a new companion, right? And I'm like, what if they just went totally off the wall, right? They have a new companion, and then the new companion's brother travels with her. And for some reason, I picture like James Franco and Seth Rogen, like talking to Davros, and like just like imagine if they did something funny where they just wrecked the whole Scarro, like blow it up by accident, and like
That's where
Davros is like screaming at like Seth Rogen. That would be pretty funny.
And you know what would happen if that happened? All these Doctor Who sites would be like, best Doctor Who episode ever.
Right.
10 out of 10.
No, but you know what they
This
would do?
show can do no wrong.
Right. No, but they would have like them like so high, and they blow up the whole. They're talking to Davros, and Davros doesn't want to kill him because he's like, "What the hell is wrong with them?" Right? And it's just like, "Oh, like, are you for real? You're gonna get the $1 million are gonna shoot you, right?" And it's just for you, like, just comedy purposes. He just like entertain talking to them, and then like they do all this. He's screaming that Scarlet's gonna be destroyed. And then now he has to build another one because they basically created a new Scarro. That's what they said. So and then they're like, who do you work for? They're like, oh, we're just a doctor's companion. See you later. And then he's like, ah!
And he's screaming, you did this! You did this, Rogan! It's on you!
I named you!
You and Franco!
And you see them like so out of their mind. And then he said, where'd you go? What did you do? And I think we blew up this planet called Scarro, and then it's like, and then you hear like a bowl, like the TARDIS cloister bell going off, and get a call from Gallifrey. Yeah, we have a problem. Yeah. That'd be funny. You gotta have some fun.
They started the time war.
Yeah, you see like Seth Rogen, he'd be like, yeah, bro, I don't know about you, but those Dalek guys, yeah, they're gonna kill you.
It turns out that Seth Rogen's actually the Nightmare Child.
And then never king and never words, yeah. That was funny. Yeah, that'd be hysterical. Hysterical. And then he's gonna be like, that's your brother and his friends. Be like, I'm sorry. Sorry.
They are not to get within 20 feet of my TARDIS.
Yeah. And Capaldi's bearded the whole season.
Yes.
And the grays from them.
I had an idea for an episode. I actually had an idea for the companion, which I think would be perfect. Okay? You get this rich, filthy rich, snobby, fashionista, powerful family, whatever, this girl, young girl, right, has all the styles, like remind you of Audrey had all that stuff, like Breakfast at Tiffany's, all these styles and things, right? You never find out her last name. Maybe her name's Kelly or something, right? You don't know her last name. They have like a battle with villains, okay? You find out that she's gonna become Madame Craveri, right? But what happens is, before you find it out, she bumps into herself, like Madame Craveri, and then she's like, this is the way it's gonna be. You can't change it. And she purposely changes it. So now you have two timelines existing at the same time, and you can't change them both. So in other words, they're wrapped around, like time is wrapped around so tight that if you try to fix it, you'll break both universes. So in other words, his companion would be Madame Craveri, but a young 20-year-old that is going to become good and not go. And then the other thing is she's still there, but the universes are like keep going interwoven. Like some points, at some time periods, they join. And that would be the thing where, hey, this would explain a lot of things. This would explain why Trenzalore is like this, or Trenzalore is like this in the future, or, Gallifrey's this, or Gallifrey's that, or,
That'd actually be pretty cool. I think that could work really well.
Right,
Even if it's not Madame Covarian, if they did something like that,
right,
that'd be pretty awesome.
And it would be like she would like, I'm not going to be that way. Like, in other words, she would
she'd fight in order to
each
keep herself
episode
down.
they would fight, but they would have a respect for each other, where she would totally be his friend, right? But tough, right? And when she saw her future self, she's like, because she's so ego. She's a good person though, and she's like, I'm never becoming that. I don't care. You look ugly. Why you why you do that? Where's the iPad? What the hell are you hanging out with? Right. And this would cause a rift where basically, and another thing I would do is they can't get zapped by the Weeping Angels. Like the Weeping Angels go to zap both of them, they don't go into time. They're immune to them for some reason, because something was special about Madame Craverian, because she saw different universes like Amy, like River.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's related, but something was connected. So I would have it like where you would have. Wait, let me just try to draw it if I could. This would be like the universes. It would be like two lines.
Yeah.
This was this way, and then at some point in time they're together, and then they're apart.
Yeah.
Sort of like when you're making a left turn or a right turn, but it's the same. It's considered, and I would have it where, hey, there's two universes. You can't say this one's real or this one's real, and they have to stay that way. And you could tie in tons of stuff to that. All the laws of time will change. No fixed points, no state of flux, because this could keep going on where it could loop into different universes, and it's like you don't even know where you're at half the times.
I think that would be really cool. And like I said, too, I think that even if they didn't do it with Madame Covarian, if it was like a new villain or something,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
pretty awesome. I think that would work really well.
Right. But again, I
Well,
see the
we're
companion as
planning
a fashionista, model, 20-year-old snob that's really a good person that you find out later on.
Yeah, like she develops throughout her time with the Doctor.
Like when she encounters the Daleks, she just like smashes them in the head or something. She's just like, and somehow she has these things that they can't destroy her. Like maybe she'll have a technology like a shield or something or whatever. And, maybe because she's so rich that she has different people tinker stuff for her, make her these things. Maybe she's a tinkerer, but she's also a fashionista.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. You need that, man. You need that. And then you could be like, if he gets hurt or whatever, she has a butler and all her people. She has like her own army, whatever, a Covarian Inc. or whatever, and just like, But she would be a troublemaker, because like I would have like say an alien race that's like, all warmongers, like say like the Mayans, right? And I just would have her say, hey, listen, you know what? Don't kill us. And they're like, why? She's like, I'll give you your greatest challenge ever. I'll give you a foe you cannot defeat. You'll be so happy, whatever. And be like, tell us this person and we'll free you and you'll be our best friend. Okay, go defeat the Daleks. And then it's like, whoa! And then you bring hell on the Daleks' doorstep. With this whole race, that's all they do is war.
Yo, she could, like, either her or, like, maybe someone she's related to, Minister of War.
Yeah. Right.
Whoever that's going to be.
But I would have Capaldi bearded, absolutely. A little change.
That'd be pretty cool.
Maybe even for an episode or two. She had Matt Smith like that, so why not?
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, no, we can't do that. You want to know why?
Why?
They'll make that the villain of the episode.
What,
the facial hair. The facial hair is the villain. We invented a razor that will make sure you never have to shave again.
Right.
The hair that gets caught in it, though, turns into a giant hairy monster.
I would also talk about where the High Council went with Rassilon. And I think I would change. I think I would change it with him being a dick. I think he would probably, Sarah, you know what? I have been a jerk. And after a while, just agree. Because, like, you can't be a jerk for billions of years. That's just stupid. I don't believe that. So, but, of course, we lose Capaldi, we're going to lose Missy also.
Yeah.
You know that. It's going to happen. So.
Yeah, I think it's almost kind of eerie. Here we were talking about how we want him to stay. We want him to stay. We think he's going to stay. He could possibly stay. And then, like, the next day or the day after, it's like, oh, Moffat's planning on checking out. It's like,
well, same thing with Capaldi. We said, is Capaldi leaving or going? Like, is he going or is he staying? Some people reporting he's gone, which that's not true, actually. He didn't say he's leaving. He's pondering.
It's pretty much he's on hiatus. Let's just say
thinking about it.
Yeah.
He even said, though, if it's great with him, he'll stay. That's if Chibnall wants him to stay. Because Chibnall has the option to have his own doctor, I believe. Or he thought he did. Maybe they took that away. I don't know how that works, the contract. But he could always have his own doctor. He could just have Capaldi an extra year and whatever, too.
Yeah, just allow, if Capaldi wants to write and direct, let him write and direct. And that will be like, okay, we'll let you write and direct, and if you want to act in a few of them, go ahead. But just stay at least 1 or 2 more years. That's
I don't want to lose Capaldi. This dude is, you know what it is? I want to see Capaldi minus Moffat.
Yeah, I think
at least 1 year without Moffat. Yeah.
I think that's the way everybody is.
Because I think it would be so fabulous. I'm telling you, it might be even better without Moffat. Might be.
It would be, yeah. It would be great to see a Doctor Who Capaldi episode or era.
And I honestly think Chibnall thinks differently than Moffat does. I think he would have the Doctor go backwards. He would bring Joe Grant in. He would bring Susan in.
That's one of the things I mentioned on, I forget if it was on one of the Doctor Who sites or just someone's, what I would love for them to do, even when the series came back, I said what I would love to see them do is this. every season, bring back just one. I mean, even if it's as a cameo, bring back at least one companion, one alien, and one villain from the past show,
Right.
from the past era. Just one, even if it's like what they did with the in Gridlock.
Right.
If they want to do it like that, I'd be fine. But at least and then at least when the 50th rolled around, people would know, okay, this person was here, that alien was this. But I'm agreeing.
I still have to open the CD and listen to it.
I agree. The Cybermen and the Daleks, it's getting old. They're getting old. It's like with Davros with the original series. Because with the Daleks, with Davros with the original series, it was 20 episodes after Genesis. Oh, cool, Davros.
And I would entertain Matt Smith and David Tennant's idea of doing like a mini series or a thing where their doctors are interacting for this overall storyline. There are no rules. I mean, Moffat had his own rules. You know what? There are no rules now. You could have a season with, Paul McGann. Like, it's not taken away from it. First of all, that's what they should have did this year. They should have did that this year. You want to know why? Because this is the year there's no Doctor Who. Pop out a friggin' season with Paul McGann.
Mm-hmm.
Wasted opportunity right there. Wasted. And then even if you don't want to release it, like what they could do is they could film it.
They could film it and put it on DVD.
No, they could film it. They could hold on to it for a year like Sherlock did gonna, and release it after Series 10 and just throw, Paul McGann thing or whatever.
But no, what I was saying is Davros got old real quick because like 20 after Genesis, like, oh cool, Davros.
Right.
90 after Genesis.
Well, now he's like a 20-year-old Davros right now. I mean, he's regenerated, whatever he is. Yeah.
Yeah. And then finally, it was like 100 after Genesis. Okay, Davros should be showing up here now. I mean, that's the way it was. That's why
he was around every year.
Yeah.
Too much, though, Davros.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the next companion of Doctor Who is someone cool.
If they're going to do another companion, like I said, they've had their present-day companions out the wazoo. Let's have somebody decades, at least a couple decades prior to the series' return. I want to see a companion from the past.
And just because the Time Lords are Time Lords doesn't mean they're smart either, because they could think that she's dead for 4 billion years, but then she pops out of the Nethersphere, and it's like, well, yeah, they were technically right. She did die, but she also have another body in the Nethersphere that she pops out like Daily Pig, which I would honestly have Missy save her, because Missy had plans for Clara. We don't know what it is yet, but
be an alternate, one of those little alternate.
It was some type of plan that she had in place for her. Not that her and the Doctor would cause chaos for everybody. It was something else. We'll never find that out, unfortunately. Well, unless Clara comes back, which I think she could if it's a whole year away or whatever. Maybe she'll get bored of Jolene's Coleman. She'll be like, oh, yeah, all right, I'll come back for you. Because you know that he wants her back for the regeneration.
Yes. Oh, I mean, he's just itching to have her back.
He said, I don't care. I want you back for the regeneration. And we don't want no dream sequence crap either.
No.
So, what about you, Chris? Would you bring her back for the regeneration? Chris?
Yeah, I think that...
Because Capaldi wants her in for his regeneration scene.
Yeah, I think that she needs to be there, to tell you the truth, because she's played such a huge part in the Doctor kind of, getting his identity that, in this regeneration, I mean, that I think not having her there would be kind of a disservice to the regeneration.
Out of the fans.
Now, her boyfriend really wants to be the Doctor. Her real-life boyfriend that was one of the Starks from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he said that he would love for her to be in it with him, but I think she doesn't want that. She doesn't want to act with her boyfriend, I think.
Which just makes sense, because...
Right.
I mean, to tell you the truth, I'm looking forward to a new companion, but I definitely think that with... I didn't like the way, Clara and She Who Shall Not Be Named are flying around in the diner. I remember watching that and going, wow. Like, this isn't good, it's not
Like,
bad.
are you
it's
telling
just,
these aliens to kiss your grits? I mean, where's Alice and where's like Mel and everybody else? And Flowers. Yeah.
So that's what Alice's restaurant was really about.
I'm really confused about that diner, though. Like, what is the significance of it being that diner?
There isn't.
Other than
any.
Amy,
It's just,
Rory, and River being
she
there.
wouldn't even know what the significance is
Yeah.
that the doctor was there. So it's just a stupid thing.
Yeah.
Unless he
It was
told
an
her.
out.
But,
It was pretty much a simple out.
It doesn't make sense, basically.
yeah, like, it could have been anything. It could have been the frickin' Victorian diner that that they were in with the clockwork droids.
Yeah.
That would have at least made more sense.
First of all, the secondary ship, that same thing happens where they have to kill people to change their to keep going. That doesn't make sense. That was only an accident once, not twice. You know, I'm talking about Deep Breath with the Marie Antoinette.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see what you're saying. I always defended it as, like, they're going to do something else with the clockwork droids. And then they never did. And it was like,
that would have
okay.
been a great way of bringing them back. But of course, they had to do that half face and
That was
all
just
these.
ridiculous. That was another plot. Like, why was the time windows? Who the hell created that? And they just left it. You know, they screwed that up. Well, we got the Everything Show with Doctor Who. There you go.
Yes.
Once in a lifetime we do it.
The real Everything Whovians cast
Right.
show.
Yeah.
Everything.
No, it's going to be Everything Show and Doctor Who, too. That's what it's going to be. Funny.
So is the Whovians cast going to actually be the horror, become the real horror Whovians cast then?
I actually am waiting for my co-host to join me with that because she's going to make the horror cast really nice. Which, you know, everybody's been sick, so it's going to be great when Jackie comes aboard. So that's going to be cool. So, what else we could talk about on the Everything Show? Anything else?
All I can say is definitely go see Dirty Grandpa. It's worth the price of admission. Yes.
I gotta tell you something funny that got me annoyed the other day. The other day I went to see how my book is doing sales-wise, and one of the, you know, so I'm like talking to the manager, and she's looking me up, and she's like,
Ooh.
no. She's looking up the books, right?
Oh, okay.
Like, and it was funny because she didn't mean anything by it. She's like, oh, all these books are old, and I'm like, it was like, that's like the one thing to say to me. It's like Sharon was cracking up because it's like, oh no, she didn't say that. Like I was just like, you know, like you ever see Kill Bill? It's like,
Yes.
Did you unleash your Kylo rage against her?
So I was just like, I instantly was like, that was like one of those shocking cliffhanger things. Like it was just, my eyes like popped out of its head. I don't know if I was having a stroke. And I'm like, I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, you know, according to BN lingo, it's old. It's like antiquated. It's like, I'm like, oh my. She's like, this came out in 2011. This came out in 2012. Don't you have anything new? But it wasn't like, she wasn't being like sarcastic. Like, don't you have anything new? And I'm like, I'm like, well, you know, my last one came out in 2014. Is that still old? And she's like, oh yeah.
Well.
I'm like, and then like Sharon, I came home. I was telling Sharon, Sharon's like, oh, why did she do that? Now you're gonna have a book out next week. Like, you know, stop. You're gonna be like all over the place. You're gonna pop out like 7 books this year. It's like that's all you're doing.
I'm sorry, I can't come in today. My fingers.
It was just like the funniest thing when she heard it. She's like, wow, that's like, you know, the one thing you don't tell you, like, oh my God, they're old. Like, and then I'm like, I'm just for no reason, like we'd be like, you know, watching a movie. I'm like, what do you mean they're old? Like, well, I would be like saying something like they're not old. Are they old? I'm like, why did I put them back out last year? It's like, oh my God, it was like complex now. Even when I'm on my lunch break, I'm like, they're not old. And I'm like just like, you know, like just like in my head, I'm like, oh, you know. That was the
You're gonna
funniest
be
thing.
like doing something really important, like you're gonna be at your wedding, and you're gonna be like, "What do you mean they were old?" I do, but what does she mean by that? Like,
What do you mean the books are old? I was like, I didn't know, but she was really not. She didn't mean anything. She's like, well, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, they sell it.
Oh, the famous cover line,
No,
yeah.
but it was like, and I'm like, it was like that Starbucks, like, language. It's like, and it's like, I was like, oh my God. Well, regardless if they're old or not, the sales are pretty good lately.
So long as the sales aren't old, that's all that matters.
Sales are actually doing nice. No, I mean, not, it's nicer than it's been doing. So let's put it that way. So I'm getting numbers now for Promise Dream is doing good. So we'll see about old. Yeah, Matrix Lloyd needs to put out a book. That's the problem. Because, he needs to, stop making, 4,000 videos, a year, and, he's got to, somehow...
Here you go. This is an idea. She wants the new book. Okay. Write everything that goes on in these podcasts and put out a book every...
No, the funny thing was when I wasn't doing podcasts for days, it was the blizzard. I was doing the book. And people thought something was wrong. I'm like, well, you're all right? I'm like, no, I'm all right. I'm doing the book. I was just literally, whatever. But, which I'm almost done. So it's like, when I heard that, I'm like, well, she said that. I got to get a book out now. Why not? It's like, it's like, there's all these other things in the background that I got to do first before.
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling.
And, it's you can only, there's not enough time in the day with everything that gets done. I mean, the commute kills me. I mean, I could be writing a book on the commute, like what I'm doing, but,
Your
a
mind's
lot
on
of
other things.
Plus being sick here and there with the bronchitis. And I just went to the doctor's today. He just said, look, your lungs are okay. You don't have pneumonia, but you have a lingering cough. It's going to go away. Just keep taking Mucinex or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
I remember a few years ago when we were living at one of the apartments around here, I went to clean the vacuum because it wasn't doing so right.
Right.
I didn't know it was still plugged in. So I just reached over to try to at least upright it. I hit the on button. Dust flew everywhere.
Oh, my God.
And we were finding dust for weeks in places you wouldn't know. But anyway, everybody thought I was coughing just to be coughing. That dust, I mean, I must have inhaled. It was like Mount St. Helens with the amount of dust I just...
Oh, my God. I'm doing different things now, which would stop me from doing the book. I've been given different jobs, different things to do with web designing, something, and then also this magazine wants me to start doing stories, which it's like, how many things could you really do?
Yeah.
I mean, it literally is not enough. So something gives. You know that. So it's like when I was doing the book, there was no podcast for days. When I'm working and I'm too tired, I come home, go to sleep. It's like, so, I do want to put out the book, but it has to be at the right time when I can actually devote enough time to get it out. But I don't want to rush it out. So
yeah, that's why I do a lot of these cut and paste things, because I know full well my drawing expertise is shoddy at best. So I'll find something with Doctor Who, or I'll find something with...
Well, look at this thing with the camera for 3 days, you and I.
Yeah.
I'm like, my camera, when I did the upgrade, didn't work. It still don't work right, where I have to
But it
do
looks
something.
better. It looks better than...
it looks really good right now, yeah.
Yeah, so thank God. But I was actually pondering getting a new laptop and a friggin' new camera, because I'm like, it just doesn't work. It's like, oh my God. So, all right, so I'm going to try to have my book out for the anniversary of the first book by May. By May, I'm going to say. And we'll see what happens. Because also I have my big...
Up by May, in other words.
I have my big birthday coming up on 2/12.
And my stepmom's birthday is on February 2nd, so...
There you go. What else is going on in the world?
I got sent off her card, man.
Oh, get better, Ronnie. She's not feeling well.
Oh, get ready, Ronnie.
She's gonna come back, one day. She said, so that's good. That's it, guys. So, on that note, we got the Real Hoovians cast mixed in with the Everything Show today, so you got double the action, double the.
Pleasure, boy.
There you go. Take care. Bye for now.
Ciao.